Hey everybody, a friend of mine asked me to do this, and as promised as well, to do an extensive overview over my build that I just finished. It's a water cooling build. I'm just gonna go through the equipment I used and maybe why I chose these. Let's start with the case first, which is the Corsair 800D. Um, One of the reasons why I got this case is because it's huge. Literally, it's it's one of the biggest cases I've seen in the market as well. Um, uh, I needed the space because it's the first time I'm doing a water cooling system, so I wanted the extra space just to handle it more perfectly with the loops and everything. But yeah, the other reason that I liked is because it has 4 hot swappable bays, so I can take my hard drives anytime I want out. As you can see, that's a normal hard drive. I have 2 SSD drives in here, one for Windows and one for the Mac. Um, One thing I did with this case is I modified the case up here. So I cut the top and inserted this quad grill, and you used to have a 3 grill holes, but on this side it didn't, so I had to actually cut the whole thing and put this one on. The reason why I did that is because I wanted to put a quad radiator underneath it, so when the air blows up to cool the water inside the radiator, it has somewhere to go. By doing this, I lost on one of the top ones here. I think it's this one, yeah. But I still have a lot of space if I want to put a Blu-ray drive or anything. And here I had to squeeze the wires for the USB 3, USB 2, Firewire, and the headphone and mic to go from the side of the case. But anyways, let me show you guys inside and go through the components. One sec. Yeah. Anyways, let's turn it on actually, just so you can see it properly. As you can see, that's the quad radiator that I told you about. It goes all the way inside, and there's the wires going in from behind just to hide them, and as well the fans. Actually, I saw these fans somewhere in a picture, and I actually searched online till I found which one, because they're really pleasant and it's the color I wanted to go with. They're the XigmaTEK, I think, yeah, orange, with white LED lights. They look really nice, to be honest, and I like the lighting that they provide. But anyways, enough about fans. I have here the CPU inside here. The CPU is 3930K i7 6 core, 3.2 gigahertz, but I have it overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz. I actually had it at 4.7, but it was a bit buggy and the system wasn't stable, but 4.5 was really, it's working smoothly so far, so hopefully it keeps up, and it's pretty quick. I have 4 RAM stick from Jigsaw, or Ripjaws, I think, yeah. Ripjaws, sorry, yeah, which basically they're 16 gigabytes. I can go to 64, which the motherboard supports. The motherboard is an Asus, or for you guys that like to say Asus, Rampage 4 Extreme. I'm really impressed with this motherboard. Really impressed with it. Even the BIOS, it has two BIOSes, so you can switch between both, and all the fan outlets, and as well you can even control the PCI from here. So if, for example, if you wanna, something is not, your computer not booting up, you can switch off the first PCI and go to the second one, and so on. You have as well the start and reset button there, looking really nice. Here I have the graphic card, which is the GTX 680 classified from EVGA. The Waterblock took me a while to get, but one of the reasons I got this is because it's one of the only graphic cards that has 4 GB of RAM internally in the graphic card. I just wanted that. I know that I'm not going to use it probably, but just to last my computer as long as possible. You know, things update all the time. Anyways, let's go through the loop. So I have my D5 pump here, which pumps the coolant, and I'll tell you about the coolant just in a bit more. It pumps the coolant from here, goes behind, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, goes behind all the way up there. It comes here, which is the north bridge of the motherboard, and then from the north bridge it goes to the CPU. From the CPU it goes to the graphic card. From the graphic card it goes to the south bridge of the motherboard, and then it goes back in with the hot water into the radiator up here. As you can see, it comes from there, here, and then from the radiator, which is supposedly cold water, well, it is cold water goes to the reservoir, where it stores the cold water here to be pumped again to the system. So it goes and takes the heat, cools it up here, stores the cold water here, and so on. The reservoir is 250 millimeter from EK waters. They have really nice stuff, but really nice water cooling equipment. Even these compression fittings I used is from them as well. Yeah. The coolant. I don't see this used much, but I really love the coloring of it. It's from Mayhem. Yeah, it's called Sunset Yellow. And usually the coolants are very light, or it's red or blue, green. People use it, but it's very transparent. This one has this like gooey texture to it, which I really love. So that's why it made me choose it. And finally, the power supply, which is an AX850 watts from Corsair as well. I don't think I'll need 850 watt, but I just bought it just in case I, upgrade later on. I always kept in mind. And to show you as well how I love this case, it does everything to hide like stuff. For example, all the wiring. You have things like this. But yeah. Anyways, I'll show you here. This is how it starts. I can choose between Windows and Mac, and I'll show you how the Mac works. So it's basically a Hackintosh as well as Windows. I had a lot of trouble actually making the Mac work, but in the end it worked pretty well. I had to change all the internal files for Mac, so it's recognized all my like the internal Bluetooth with the motherboard, the USBs, everything. But as you can see here, I'll show you. It works pretty well, and it recognizes. It recognizes everything here, and as well, the serial number is, of course, it's a fake, but you can change it to anything you want, even some stuff on here. But yeah, this is it. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. But yeah, thanks.